Hello, hello. Good morning. Let's see how many people joins the live. Let's see how many persons joins the live. Let's see how many persons will join the live. It's been a while. I talked about the latest Canada updates. I promise maybe from now to the end of the month, I shall bring you a detailed um, updates, and there are some applications that have just been opened, like the grandparents sponsorship and many more. So I'll be bringing those updates to you guys. Sorry for, you know, many things I'm doing at the moment, so I've not been able to put myself together to bring those videos. So for some time now, there have been many updates related to IRCC. That's Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada. So that's IRCC. So I'll just be doing a summary. This live session is going to be a very quick one. What's the time? This is almost 10:30. So it's going to be a very, very quick one. And anybody that comes later can watch for you just to be updated on what is happening in IRCC in Canada as a whole, talking about the application process. My name is Joy, and this is Joy Bliss Word. I'm not an immigration agent, I'm not an expert in immigration matters, but via research and personal experiences, I just try to dish out this information. So the first here, I'll just be taking them, looking at them from here, is the grandparents and parents program. So what I have here, as of September 8th, 2023, family reunification um, is a pillar of Canada's immigration system. If there's anything about Canada, they don't really like spouses separating. What I mean is, if a spouse is here and the other one is somewhere else, they don't really enjoy it. So they always look for a way or create programs where there can be reunification. So this one now is not for spouses now, this is for parents and grandparents. So if you're in Canada and you wish your parents to come over, or you wish your children's parents come over, that's talking about grandparents now. So the program reopens this fall. So by towards the end of this month, we shall be experiencing fall in full. So this is the fall season. So they've reopened this fall, and as of September 8th was when this information was brought out. Then Canada remains committed to helping Canadian citizens and permanent residents sponsor their loved ones to live and work alongside with them. So this thing I'm reading out is from the IRCC website, so it's not like it's a third party. This is from their website. So like I said, they are reuniting families through the parents and grandparents program, and this can be seen in higher admission for parents and grandparents under the multi-year level plans. So they keep doing this, and they are going to be accepting 15,000 complete applications for sponsorship under the parents and grandparent programs. So sorry, let me quickly chip this in. If you want to do your application process, whichever way you choose, although I said I'm not an immigration person, but I can be of help. So if you want to do this Canada immigration process either via study or anything, or you need me to link you or somehow just to put you through, please join my membership. Join my membership. So it's going to be like a kind of small group where I can address people almost like one on one. Okay, so join my membership. Maybe there are some things you cannot really put on my videos, even live videos like this. I'll also have a membership for the live. You can click on join, whichever package you choose. I will be notified, and I'm going to create a video, or I'll do a one-on-one class, membership class, so that it will be like a one-on-one application, because most I receive so many messages on my WhatsApp Messenger, even Facebook. Okay, I want to do this, my this. How do I go about it? So please join my membership. I have not been saying that in my video. It has been escaping me. When you check my channel, you will see a place they wrote join, so you can join that place. Then with time I'll put up a video depending on what you want, and you are going to get it there. So let's continue. So they're going to be receiving up to 15,000 complete applications. So if you want your parents to come over this season, this is an opportunity for you. So again, anyone who submitted an interest to sponsor form in 2020 and did not receive ITA to apply in 2021, because all these processes, it's not what you just do now and you get it done. So if you've done before and maybe somehow you didn't hear from Ircc, they are saying it now that you should check your email account provided in 2020 for the interest to sponsor form. So that's that one. So I also, it's just a random update I'm giving to you guys. Random updates. So from my thumbnail you also see that there's going to be a change in immigration in 2024. That's a change in immigration plan. So let me just read that to you. So mostly it's about housing. The housing in Canada, the housing issue in Canada is now becoming alarming. The rate at which the housing issue is going, I think, is now giving the government of Canada concern. First of all, getting houses is not easy to come by here in Canada, and again, the price in getting a house here is not that cheap. Although there are some provinces that are very affordable. I shall be talking about that in another video, talking about the New Brunswick, Manitoba, I think Nova Scotia, Saskatchewan, and the rest. But a housing issue is now becoming a big issue in Canada, and there was a time some people were saying because of this housing issue, maybe um, IRCC will not be taking applications. So I think that news was debunked. It was debunked kind of, that instead of them changing reducing the rate at which applicants will come, they will rather just work on how to increase the houses. You understand? To increase the houses in Canada. I'm trying to get that news so that you can hear from the horse's mouth. So there are also updates as per the express entry. But before I go to that, let me just quickly give you this housing on, so that when you are coming, you'll be aware. The best is still for you to get a house before you land into Canada. It is far easier because I was not in the shoes of those that were looking for houses here, but I have them as friends, and let me tell you, it is not easy. Okay, it is not easy at all to look for houses here and not get. Okay, okay, I've seen it. So this is the news they debunked about the housing. Yes, I watched a video of people saying because of housing issues they won't be taking applications. So this was where the Canadian government came out about a few days ago to talk about or to address it. Hold on, please. So what they actually said is that they won't rule out. Okay, see, Canadian government won't rule out changing immigration targets to address housing challenges. So they came to say that if you have been following up with this immigration news, you understand what I'm talking about. So don't be scared for those that are still looking to apply to come to Canada. So don't be scared. The application process will not be reduced in any way. So he said Canadian government won't rule out changing immigration targets to address housing challenges. So, but rather, he said he will maintain the country so that it focuses on what to do to increase housing supply when it comes to addressing current housing challenges. I think that's the best thing to do because I know a lot of persons will be like, hey, what will happen to me? What will happen to my application now? What will they still take? So don't um don't get bothered about that. So let me also see if he said any of that. He said Fraser said he believes the federal government has some work to do with its temporary immigration programs, which currently operates on the basis of demand, blah 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 blah. So before making any changes, Fraser said the federal government will have to consult with other levels of the government. Well, this particular one I was after the housing issues. Good news, good news, good news again. You know, the only province in Canada where they don't pay tax is Alberta. Alberta don't pay tax. Other provinces pay tax. So the news that I have here, because of this housing issue, um, Ottawa said they will remove GST. That's still talking about the tax. They will remove the GST. By doing that, at least things will still be very affordable. That is a good one. That's a very, very good one. So I'm still going to okay, he said so that's a good one. So I will now be going to express entry. There are some updates about the express entry, and there's also an update about the temporary visa. Yes, temporary resident visa. There's an update to that. Remember, I did one video of how they've extended the work permit from this year, or yeah, from I think June this year to next year or so. So there's also an update to that. Let me read that out. So I just think they are just trying to improve all this immigration process for persons. So what I'm just trying to say is that okay, I think the question people were asking here is I saw the updates not too long, so I'm trying to see where I got it from. Say For many times, I'm hopeful that Sean Fraser will bring back popular program to help this, that. Well, so what I'm just trying to say here is the work permit. Oh, I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see. That is going to be extended to December 2024. So if you are not aware yet, so work permit is going to be extended from now till December 2024 for those. Okay, I think I've gotten it now. Then now talking about the immigration levels plan from now till 2025. You know, one thing about Canada, it's not only Canada, they project ahead. So for in 2023, Canada will target the arrival of 465,000 new permanent residents. So irrespective of their housing issues, it's not going to be that bad. And note, it will increase next year to about 485,000. So it's a good update. Then in 2025, it will even increase to 500,000 immigrants. So that's the level of immigration in Canada immigration level plan from now to 2025. Okay, I'm trying to get the work permit stuff. So for those that are looking for job or that want to come through job routes from outside of Canada and you don't know the job to apply for, that will not require you being a permanent resident, kindly join my membership class for that. We shall address that. So those are the little packages I'll be giving to you guys. Join, because as I came here when I was applying for some jobs, I saw some jobs that don't require you being a permanent resident, even a temporary, but you can apply from outside of Canada, and the employers have their LMIA, so you need to join my class for that. Okay, so let's hear what Sean Fraser too has to say this time, talking about the temporary launching a new TR to Canada PR pathway. So they are launching a new one. I shall end this life very, very soon. Very soon. Okay. I know most of you know about Quebec. Quebec is also another place where you can go settle, but it's a French-based province or community. Is it a community? So as of September 13, that was yesterday, Quebec begins public consultations on 2024 to 2027 immigration strategies. So if you are looking at immigration through that route or through Quebec, you need to start being at alert, because this is a period they would um, start making immigration plans. Yes. So as of yesterday again, British Columbia also issued 183 Canadian immigration invitations into the new PMP draw. So that reminds me, we've not heard from Saskatchewan yet. Remember the last PMP draw they did? It was country based. So we are hopeful that the next one will uh, be will be favorable to people. Yes. So for the temporary residents, so he said Canada Immigration Minister Sean Fraser is reportedly hoping to unveil, some people call it unveil a new program to allow temporary residents to become or to quickly get their permanent residence. You all know that in as much as um, Canada wants people, they don't want people that will come and be floating, or that will not, that will be adding stress to the economy. So they are looking for a way to make temporary residents to become permanent residents. What I mean is that if you come in as an international student, definitely you're under the temporary resident visa. So they want to see how you can become a permanent resident very quickly. So let's be on the watch out. Um, so the TR to PR pathway flooded 81,177 applications last year. So that's the temporary residency to permanent residency. Sorry. So that pathway targeted healthcare and other workers in Canada and recent international graduates. So those are mainly, I'm not saying the only set of temporary residents in Canada. So the application reached 81,000 plus for those that want to convert into permanent resident. So he said it applies across the country with exception of the Francophone province of Quebec. Quebec operates its own immigration system. So if you are going to Canada via Quebec, I don't really think it has a lot to do with other provinces or Ircc. So, but by the close of the year, the pathway had accepted 84,000 plus. So, like I said before, Sean Fraser is trying to see every way to see that it will not be processed very quickly. So, Canada candidates must be active in Canada startup visa business or have permanent residency. So, for those that want to immigrate via startup visa, I talked about you. There was a video I did on people that don't require IELTS to travel. I mentioned those that want to go establish business or that are going as business entrepreneurs. So the update Canada is giving us is that if you are or if you have applied via startup visa route and you are not active, or you don't have, they said candidate must be active in Canada startup visa or have permanent resident application rejected. It's very simple. If you immigrated via business startup route and you already know that yes, you went for a business purpose and you are not active, and if somehow you became a permanent resident, then you could be rejected. So if you when sometimes people look for a way to just move, and when they now get to that place, the essence or the reason they give, they will not do it. So now they said they are on the watch out. If you are on a startup visa route and you are not active, then any moment you could be rejected. Don't think I have to say so much on that. It's self explanatory already. So again, as of 2 days ago, Quebec, hold on, Quebec issued 2,433 EOI. EOI is expression of interest. Like I said, Quebec, they operate their own immigration plans. So Quebec issues 2,433 Canada immigration draws. Yeah, Canada immigration invites in the two expression of interest draws. So for those that applied, so you can kindly check out all those ones. So it said Quebec immigration has conducted two new draws through the ARIMA expression of interest. It's not only Quebec that has EOI. In fact, most provinces do EOI. Yes. So issuing 2,433 Canada immigration invitations to apply. So these draws were conducted August 24 and September 7, just like a space of 2 weeks. So they were able to get all those people or applicants. So the August 24 draw saw 1,000 invitations to issue to candidates with a French language speaking ability of level 7 or higher on the Quebec proficiency scale. Where are my French speakers? Where are my French people? Where are my French friends? I think if you are a French speaking person or you understand French so well and you want to move to Canada, have you tried Quebec? Try it and see how it goes. In most cases, when you try this Quebec, 80% of your consideration of you being considered will be based on the fact that you are a French speaking person, because Quebec is a francophone province. So is it a province? Is Quebec a province? So that one, I leave that question for my opponent to answer. So who scored 584 points or above in this and that. So let me tell you the occupation that they invited. He said not only occupation, not only experience, not only skills. So they just took a computer and information system managers, um, civil engineers, mechanical engineers, industrial engineering and manufacturing technologists, computer engineers, software engineers, oh, many engineers, then school teachers, and the rest. So I shall be giving you an update soon of when the next one will take place. So in the meantime, just be on the watch out. This one that they conducted to expression of interest draw in less than 2 weeks, interval August 24, September 7. So chances are that maybe another one will soon take place, maybe in October, who knows. So if you are interested, you can just check out for Quebec expression of interest, that is if you're a French speaking person. So for the September draw, they took about 1,433 candidates. Yeah, for the expression of interest. It's not yet settled, but at least when you show an interest, there's a great chance of, or there are greater chances of you being given the stuff. So that's all for that. So now you may want to ask how it works. Do they do it all the time? Doctor, you are welcome. I started the live earlier, but shall I say, unfortunately, I won't be staying long. I'll soon be leaving. God now. God now. I have a meeting to catch up with. Maybe I will even vlog the meeting. For those that will be coming to Canada, is one meeting that you should attend. Maybe I will just do a vlog while going, and I'll post it. So I have a business meeting to attend. So that's why I will not be staying long on this live. So how does the Quebec work? The Quebec expression of interest. So it's very easy. It's almost the same way. Thank you, doctor. I also appreciate all your efforts. You are doing well, sir. So you have to submit an online expression of interest via Arima. Amen, and you too. So you go to expression of interest where you'll be ranked just the way we have the express entry pool, and there to be valid for 12 months, exactly like the normal express entry that you know. So before the end of 12 months, if your score or your point is high, then you'll be nominated. And when you are just the same thing, when you are nominated, you will have like 60 days to apply. Yeah, so when you are approved, you'll be given your nomination certificate. So we like all this one PMP now. Yes, it's almost like PMP. So without your nomination, then you are good to go. Then you now do the normal. You will submit. Then you get your ITA. Then you know the rest of the process. So if you want to know how to go, how to apply after receiving your ITA, please join my membership class. Membership class, select one. Then you don't know how to go about it, you don't know when to go for medicals, you don't know when to go for biometrics, join my membership class. Even if it's one person, I will teach you one-on-one. I'll tell you one-on-one how to go about it, where you VSF offices, where you can do all those your registrations. Somebody asked me if there was, or if there is, a Canadian embassy in Nigeria. I don't think there's anyone. What I mean is there's no building like you write Canadian embassy just like the American embassy. So the way they do their things, Canada, they do things online. Although there may be places where you can go for your medicals, like the IOM. There are places that you can go for your biometrics, but as of the time of doing this live video, I don't think there's a place that is just specifically Canadian embassy. I know there's one in I know there's we have in Accra also. Yes, visa office is in Accra. We have a visa office in London and the rest. So that's it. You may want to ask when the next one will come up, but I can't really tell you when the next EOI will come up. But with the way express entry works, you can also do this, hoping that before 12 months elapses, then you should uh, the draw will take place and you will be selected. So if you're a French speaker, this is good news for you. And I've just listed the occupations that you can get under Quebec. Under Quebec, okay? So I'm just trying to give you the latest news, and then by at most in the next 15 minutes, I should be rounding off this live. Then if you are not clear about anything, just let me know in the chat box. Just let me know. So we are still talking about the latest updates in Canada. Whoa, my woman. Madam Chidima, thanks for joining my live. Maybe I should even answer your questions here to help others. If you don't mind, should I answer the question here? There was a question you were asking me. Should I just answer it here? So, thanks for joining. Another update is that express entry. Okay, so I should go ahead. Good. If I remembered you very well, you talked about. Can I even remember what you asked again? The assessment grid, or what they will use to assess your express entry. I don't know if I got the question correctly. Like, if you're in the pool, what will you be assessed with? If I got your question, just let me know. Then I will tell you, oh, thank you. So I'm still on track. You will be judged mainly, will I say judged? You will be assessed mainly on 5 things, but not limited to 5 things, 5 major things. So the first one is language proficiency. So, and like you said, the CELPIP is not in Nigeria yet, but I think is in UK, because most of my friends want to write it. So you will be assessed based on your language proficiency. So if you're an English speaker, you will do English language test, and if you're a French speaker, or you want to immigrate via through the um, French route, of you want to go to francophone province, then you may have to now do um, French language test. So, and you may want to know the minimum points required in the express entry pool. Let me just give a brief overview of how it works. If you want to apply via express entry route, which is the commonest of them all in trying to immigrate to Canada, then you have to have some things in place, okay? So if you are immigrating via express entry route, it is faster and you can land in any province of your choice. Those are the major importance or major advantages of you immigrating via express entry route. So first, your language, then second, your proof of identity. If you want to apply for any immigration process at all, you will need your proof of identity, and in most cases, people they will tell you driver's license, blah 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 blah. But in most cases, people use international passport. So if you want to immigrate and you don't have your international passport yet, you may have to get that. Then third is your work experience. I want to see the points so that I will tell you the point for each. You also need your work experience because it's what you will need in the express entry pool. Then the fourth is your level of education. Yes, the higher your level of education, the higher the chances of you getting selected. And how it works is when in that express entry pool, there are different categories of candidates in that pool. So depending on how you want to immigrate, some are immigrating via provisional nomination, some are immigrating via express entry, some are immigrating via work route, some are immigrating via study. So, but whatever it is, this set of people are in one pool. So, if you are going via express entry now, you will make sure your level of education is high. Like I said before now, Canadian system work with points. The higher your points, the better for you. So you need to have at least let me confirm your working experience because all these things do change. I know of PNP that you need to have done a full year, at least a full year in your 5 years. So I don't really know if it works for express entry like that, but let me just get it out here. Then your age too. I think that's the fifth one. I've mentioned proof of identity. Um, I've mentioned language proficiency. I've mentioned work experience. I've mentioned your level of education, and now age. Those are the five major factors of the things you need for express entry. But that does not mean in the long run they may not ask you to provide other things. So your age, the older you are, the lesser your points. The older you are, the lesser your points because of a truth, the Canadian system wants young blood. But that does not mean if you are even 50 years, you cannot still relocate. You can still relocate and relocate very well. So those are the major things you need. So for the language, I don't really advise people to write it very early. That is when you just want to apply because it takes the language test 2 years to get expired, and you don't really know what will happen, how long your process will take, but we always hope that it doesn't take long. So most times what people do is in the express entry pool, you can assume score there, but then your CLB should not be less than 7.5. Your CLB should not be less than 7.5, meaning if you do your the four aggregates, the four tests, reading, speaking, writing, listening, at least you should get like 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, such that the aggregate will still be 7.5. But that is when you want to now do the exam. So for the age, if you are between say 18 to 30, your points you will get like your full points there. But if you are now like maybe 35 and above, your points will reduce there. Okay, so Okay, I've seen it here. I will tell you the points. Good. So for the age, I think this was what I was looking for. For the age, if you are 18 years and you are a single applicant, I will do this thing is in two ways, because sometimes it may be that it's a single person that is trying to apply, and sometimes it could be a couple. You understand? So if you are below 18 and you are a single applicant, the points you will get is zero. Is zero. That is below 18. Now I said that from 18 and above, between 18 and 30, you get to have a good point. So if you are 18 and you are a single applicant, you get zero for that age. And if you are a married person, or your spouse or your partner is 18, then you still get zero. So meaning it doesn't even favor, express entry does not even favor someone that is below 18. Now if you are 18, you will get 99 points as a single applicant, and you will get 90 points as an accompanying spouse or partner. Then if you are 19, I think 19, you get 95 as a spouse. But if you are single, you get 110. Then if you are 20 to 29, if you are between 20 and 29, if you are a single applicant, you get 110. And if you are a spouse or partner, you get 100. Then the other pata of them all, if you are 30 as a single applicant, you get 105. Then if you are a spouse or a partner, you get 95. So from 30 and above, the points you get in the express entry pool starts reducing. Madam Chidima, hope I am answering your question. So if you are like say 37, you get 66 points. If you are 34, you get 75 points. That is as a spouse. Okay, so that's for age. And what you need in the pool is about the total score you will need. I think I'm going to put that soon. Then for your level of education, if you have, before now, when we applied for our own, they were still accepting HND. As at the time we applied, they were accepting HND. But all of a sudden, they scrapped it and they started accepting BSc. I don't know what will happen in the future. Maybe they will scrap BSc and they will start accepting masters. But if you have BSc masters, let me just quickly talk about this education. If you are applying from outside of Canada, or if if your education is not from a Canadian university, then you need to evaluate it. That's what they call evaluation credential assessment. So that when you evaluate it, they will help you to check if it is the same as the Canadian level of education. That's just the summary. So that's another thing you need to do. Apart from the fact that education is needed, you need to do your ECA, except your certificate is from a Canadian university or you are living inside of Canada. So that's when you will not do ECA. ECA on its own is another process. If you are coming from Nigeria, just as some universities will be very slow to help you process your transcripts, your ECA involves you sending your transcript to an evaluating body. We have different evaluating bodies such as the WES, ICAP, ICES, and the rest. When my husband he did ICES. When I did mine as through WES. Thank you so much, my sister. So I did mine through WES because WES is faster, and you can always go back to them maybe if you need any upgrading, because some people will evaluate like BSc and later they will get masters. You understand? So you can as well write to them. You will just pay a little token. You won't pay so much again to evaluate. You just pay a little token to tell them to upgrade. You understand? So I'm just giving you a general overview of your level of education. So if you are less than secondary school, your CROS will be 90. If you are single, Then if you are a spouse, it will be 6. You understand? Sorry, sorry. If you are going and you have less than secondary school credential, that means you don't have higher institution credential. If you're a single applicant, it will be 30. But if you are a PA, that is primary applicant, it will be 28. So let me just go to BSc. BSc, if you have 2 or more post-secondary school programs, blah 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 blah, you have like 128 as a single applicant and 112. But if you have masters or entry to practice professional degree, your point will be high. So if you are a single, you have 135. If you are a primary applicant, it is 126. Then they also made room for a partner. Although the points for partners when they are applying for express entry is not always that much, but you can help support your spouse. If, for example, my husband is the primary applicant and he gets like 126 points as a primary applicant, if I also evaluate my level of education or my educational credential, I will have 6 points added to it. So in a way, it will still boost the score. So this is one this part of this factor is one thing that two couples can do together, at least to get a bigger score. For example, now if you have PhD, if you have PhD as a PA, you get 140. As a single applicant, you will get 150. As the PA's spouse, either husband or wife, you will have 10. So if you add 10 to the 140, that's 150 already. So that's all about the education. So now talking about the language, this was what I was trying to get out since. If you're a single applicant, you get CLB 3 or lower is 0. If you're a PA, you get CLB of 3. There's a way they calculate it. CLB is different from aggregate. Don't say, let's assume you get 7.5, 7.5, 7.5. When you divide this, you get that's aggregate. It's different from CLB. So there's a way they calculate this CLB, or there's a chart you can actually look at that when you get so score, this is the equivalent in CLB. So if you get CLB of 3 or lower, is 0. But if you get CLB of 7, this was what I was saying. If you get CLB of 7 and you're a principal applicant, be sure to have 16 points. And here too, the spouse could also support. So if I am the primary applicant and I get like 16 points for my level of education, if my husband also does the exam and he gets the same CLB as me, he will be adding 3 points to me. So all those tiny points matters. If you are going strictly via express entry route, you need to look for a way to gather points from anywhere. And this is one of the ways. You need to look for a way to gather points so that you can easily meet up with the points. So I will still tell you the points you need. The points you will need for you to be selected depends solely on Ircc. Although you can check the previous charts of the previous draws for you to have a rough idea of the number of score you should have to be selected. But Ircc could wake up anytime and say, oh, we took those that had 464 last month, maybe we should bring it down to 460. They could just still wake up on the other side of their bed and say, oh, let us take it to 500. So that is why anytime, any day, you should see how you should have a very good point in the express entry pool. So for CLB of 8, for CLB of 8, if you're a PA, you should have like 22 points for your language proficiency, and for the spouse that is trying to support the husband or wife, we have 3. Now if you then get CLB of 10 or higher, maybe you did your language test and you got, what's the highest score there? I think it's 10. you then got CLB of 10 or higher. As a PA, you will get 32 points. Then as a spouse, you'll be adding like extra 5 to the points. So that's for language tests. Now, if you'll be doing English language test and you know French a little, see, if you do French to support your points in the express entry pool, you'll be having an additional 50 points. So because you are not going to a francophone country and you want to see how you want to boost your score, so nobody is going to expect so much from you in this French. You understand? What I'm trying to say is that you are not going to a francophone province, but you just want to do French test for you to just still get more score to add to the English one you got, since it will be adding extra 50 points, right? So you can just learn the basics, get past questions. Some of these IELTS or language tests do come they do come with a CD where you can watch some practice questions. That was what I studied. That was what I used in studying mine. And I think my CLB was 6 or 8. Was it 6? No, 7. 6 or 7. But at the end of the day, I didn't use it because my husband's score. I didn't use it not because my husband's score was. I didn't use it because we then went through the PNP routes. You know, when we use PNP routes, you don't need so much score in your express entry, because when you use the PNP routes, you'll be having additional 600 points. So that's for that. So if you want to still boost your score in the express entry pool, maybe you are staying too long in the pool, they are selecting others, they are not selecting me, then you can go and learn comment ça va, ça va bien, all those things. At least just have little idea on French just to support your score. So for the Canadian work experience, I talked about work experience. The work experience I'm saying is Canadian work experience and then non-Canadian work experience. So if you were working or if you are working in Canada and you want to apply for permanent residency, so you can also be in this pool. So if you have experience or you've had experience um, in Canada, it will also give you points. So for a single applicant, for 1 year, you get 40 points. For a PA, you get 35 points. For a spouse, you get 5 points. But if you have worked like, so the higher your number of years of work of experience, the more your points. What's the time now? Oh, it's almost time. I'll be rounding up. So anyone I cannot give to you, please, if you have my contacts, we can chat me up. So let me just run through. So if you have 4 years of experience, if you're a PA, you get 63 points. If you're a spouse, you get 9 points. So if you have 5 years, you get 70 points. So everything is the higher. It's only age that I know that the higher you have it, the more your age, the lesser it is. That's the only thing. But for the rest, the higher the level or whatever, the more your points. So when you talk about skills transferability, which I didn't mention, that's why I said those 5 dimensions are the major one, are the major factors. But you could also have skills. Maybe you are trying to immigrate as a skilled worker. So this is also the points you can. You also have points for that. So if you have secondary school or less, you have 0 points. That's for your language proficiency, yes. So if you don't have university degree, and then points for CLB or 7 or more on all first languages, this and that. So if you have 2 or more post-secondary programs, that is if you are going as a skilled person. If you are going as a skilled person, most times skilled worker, then you can have points for that. Then other factors. I'm going to really talk about this. I talked about language and the blah 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 blah. Other factors that could help you. Please, does postgraduate PGD count? That thing has been, I don't think so. But you there's no, if you can evaluate it, if you can evaluate it, then it should count. But I think it's more of BSc, masters, PhD. But let me just read it out here. PGD. It counts. My friend in Manitoba evaluated his PGD. So he said two or more post-secondary school program credentials, and at least one of the credentials was issued on completion of a post-secondary program of 3 years or longer. I think it counts, but I can confirm from my friend for you, because he was also asking me that period. I think he was able to evaluate his PGD, but in most cases, people evaluate masters, BSc, and the rest. So if you're also going through trade, you also have points. Yes. If you are going to through trade, and your years of experience to also give you points. So other factors that can help boost your score in this express entry pool are as follows. If you've got siblings abroad, it could also contribute to your points. Yes, it's cool. And when you are doing this, the sibling has to prove that it's your sibling. You too have to prove that it's your sibling too. And that you can get through birth certificate, utility bills, things to really show that yes, if you come over, you can be taken care of. So those are some factors too that could also add to your points in the express entry pool. Okay. Sibling in Canada, completed 1 year or 2 years study program in Canada. This is talking about those that went to school abroad, a school in Canada, maybe masters or one program. So if you've gotten that and you now want to apply for permanent residency via express entry, it's automatic. It's going to give you points. Then French ability, like I said, you may not be a French person, but because you want points, it can add 50 points. These are things that can add points to your points in your express entry. Siblings will give you 15 points. Studying, that is having a 2 year study, will give you 15 points. Then you having French ability, that is French ability of CLB of 7 or better, and English ability CLB 5 or better will give you 5 points. Then if you have completed your 3 years slash masters slash entry to practice professional degree or PhD, it can also give you additional 30 points. So what this means is that if you're applying with BSc and you have PhD, definitely you will evaluate the higher one, which is the PhD. It's going to give you additional 30 points. Then French ability or no or better, and English ability of CLB 4 or worse, or no English test at all, can give you 25 points. So now when you also qualify for a job offer, this can give you 200 points. Maybe you got a job. So if you are looking at getting a job from outside of Canada, or you just feel you don't know the one that will employ you, join my membership class. I can give you a list of some of the companies hiring here, even if you're outside of Canada, that you can just try your luck and see. And if you feel good to them, or if your resume looks good to them, they can arrange your coming to come and work. And when you come, in no time you can switch to become a permanent resident. Then PNP, provincial nomination, can also boost your score in the express entry pool, and that's about 600 points. Okay, so that's like basically the general overview of your points grid in the express entry pool. So let me just itemize everything. The factors needed for you to be in the express entry pool is your work. That's talking about your work experience, job offer if you've got one, language, which you always do, uh, education, which is needed, study, that is if you have gone to study in Canada, or you have 2 or 3 years of post study or study at all in Canada, it will add. Then your spouse too could add, like what I've been mentioning since. If your spouse will help you, join you in evaluating his or her results or doing the language test, that could also add. Then provincial nominations, then help from others. I think I love this. So if you are stuck and you don't know what to do, you can get help. And you can meet immigration experts. You can meet anybody that knows this thing well. It's not anybody you should meet. When people ask me if I used an agent, I don't know what to say. Some agents will complicate issues for you. Know the person that knows about this thing, that can put you through, the person that is vast about all these things. So those are the ways you can actually boost your score in, in the express entry pool. So if you want to know the points you need to be selected, you can check the previous charts. There's a way you can check it. As of last year, the approximate points they were taking was about 470 points. So you can just do your research to know, so that when you finally get those points, you'll be selected and fast express. That's why they said express entry. So that will be all for this live. If you have any question you want me to address, you may also let me know in the comment section. Like I said, I need to catch up with the program, and I may probably vlog that for those that may be coming and you may be interested in that program. So thanks so much for watching, guys. My name is Joy. So for all those things I mentioned, kindly join my membership class, and I hope to bring you more updates. I'll not really be bringing these Canada updates because I'll be trying to get settled, but as time goes on, I will try to put myself together to give you all these updates and more routes to um, get to Canada. Yes. So thanks so much for watching, Madam Chidima, Debbie's Kitchen, Dr. Taba. Those were the people I saw their chats, and others that may be watching and did not chat. I love all of you. God bless. See you.